As the events unfolded yesterday, the university sent out alerts to students telling them to run, hide, fight. The term was developed by Homeland Security and modified just a few years ago.
News 4's Jen Shantz spoke to a local expert about how this warning has changed. Jen?
Well, Jackie, the phrase used to be just run and hide. The fight came later as law enforcement realized sometimes running and hiding just isn't enough. The tactical response to active shooters or active attackers of any kind has also changed. Local and state police rushing Ohio State's campus in search of the attacker Monday wouldn't have always played out the same way. When did that change?
Columbine is probably a good point to look if you were building a timeline of these things. The shooting at West Virginia is another one that you can look at, where things probably started to change and law enforcement felt there's a better way to do this.
Director of Medaille's Homeland Security Program, Stephen McMartin, says officers used to wait for a tactical team to arrive. Officers now do whatever they can to neutralize the threat as soon as possible. The model for civilians to respond to a threat has also evolved over the years. The run, hide, fight model is now used around the country, including here in Buffalo. Ohio State's attacker, 18-year-old Abdul Razak Ali Artan, used a knife to slash several people before being shot by an officer. The response model, though, McMartin says, was the same.
The situation was the same. It was somebody with a weapon that was actively trying to hurt people and maim people and what have you, but it wasn't a gun.
McMartin calls this attack an act of terrorism. Artan posted on social media his anger over how Muslims are being treated by the U.S. Investigators suggest his posts point to someone who was radicalized.
Police are doing an investigation. They're looking at his cell phone, they're looking at his computer, they're looking at his acquaintances, and what they're trying to determine is just that. Is he a lone wolf?
Right now, McMartin says it's too soon to tell. Now, the professor also stressed labeling something as an act of terrorism takes time. Yesterday, he told me he wouldn't have necessarily labeled this attack as such. It's the new information investigators found via the suspect's social media page which led to that conclusion. Live in the studio, Jen Shantz, News 4 at 6.